I found out my boyfriend was cheating on me while I was burning up with a 102-degree fever. The phone felt like a block of ice against my hot cheek. Mark, I whispered, my teeth chattering. I'm so dizzy. Can you please take me to the hospital? His sigh was a gust of pure annoyance. It's just a fever, Lena. You're not dying. Deal with it yourself. Stop calling and bothering me. The click in my ear was the sound of my 3-year relationship ending. I was alone. In a hotel room I booked for a romantic getaway, using all my savings, hoping he'd finally propose. No, I was just a bother. The room spun. I stumbled into the hallway, my vision blurring. The numbers. Swam, 1063, 1093. I didn't know. I just pushed a door open, fell onto the first bed I found, and surrendered to the darkness. I woke up to a man's shocked voice. Who are you? What are you doing in my room? I shot up, the world tilting. This wasn't my room, and the man standing there, tall and furious, wasn't Mark. The crumpled sheets, our state of undress, a horrific, fuzzy memory of the night came rushing back. A terrible, shameful misunderstanding. I am so sorry, I stammered, clutching the sheet to my chest. I had a fever. I thought this was my room. Before he could respond, the door burst open, and there stood Mark, with Isabella, the glamorous director from his office, hanging on his arm. A cruel smile played on her lips. Well, Mark, she purred, drawing the line with your little country mouse finally. Mark's eyes, once full of what I thought was love, were now cold stones. It means I'm breaking up with you, Lena. He listed all my inadequacies, how he'd only been with me for convenience, how Isabella's father was a deputy GM and his future was now limitless. Then he said the words that shattered what was left of me. No wonder your own parents didn't want you. I felt myself splintering. But then, the stranger from the bed spoke. Don't speak for all men, he said, his voice low and steady. Not all of us are scum like you. Mark laughed, sneering at him, calling him a rent-a-boy I'd hired. He threatened to have security throw us out before the big boss, Mr. Gray from HQ, arrived. That's when the stranger smiled. What a coincidence. I'm here for the meeting, too. His assistant, Joseph, walked in and confirmed it. Boss Gray, everything is ready. His name was Alexander Gray, and with a few quiet words, he fired Mark and Isabella on the spot, watching their futures crumble. He then turned to me, the broken, humiliated mess in the corner, and saw something no one else ever had, a person worth saving. He took me under his wing. He gave me a makeover, not because I was ugly, but because he wanted me to see the strength I had inside. When I looked in the mirror and saw a confident, elegant woman staring back, a tiny flame ignited in my chest. But our story had a deeper, more complicated secret. That one night of feverish mistake had a consequence. I was pregnant, terrified. I went to his office. Alexander, I'm pregnant. He was silent for a long moment. We can't keep it, he finally said, his voice all business. It was an accident. We're strangers. He proposed a solution, a marriage of convenience, a contract to give his family the heir they desperately wanted. But with one brutal clause, the moment the baby was born, we would divorce. And I must never, under any circumstances, fall in love with him. My heart felt like it was being squeezed in a vice. With no money, no family, and a baby on the way, I signed my life away. I moved into his mansion, a beautiful, lonely prison. He was always distant, a constant reminder of our arrangement. The only warmth came from his mother, Eleanor, who adored me and my growing belly. Unaware of the cold contract that bound us, the bomb dropped when his former love, the beautiful opera singer Sophia, returned. Finding her in our home, I finally broke. To protect his past, I pretended to be the maid and fled to my room, my heart in tatters. Later, I packed my bag. When the baby is born, I told him, my voice hollow, have your mother come get it. You'll never have to see me again. But he stopped me. For the first time, the wall around him crumbled. The contract says you can't fall in love with me, he said, his voice raw. But it never said I can't fall in love with you. He was choosing me, but it was too late. In my despair, I had stumbled, and I lost the baby. The grief was a physical pain, a hollowing out of my soul. In his own agony, Alexander discovered the truth. Sophia had forged an abortion consent form and tricked me with it, causing the panic that led to my fall. He ended things with her for good. But I was already gone. I left without a word for him, only a tear-stained letter for his mother, and disappeared. For 3 years, I rebuilt myself. I became Arya, a successful designer. I buried Lena in her pain, but he found me. He came to me not as Alexander Gray, CEO, but as a client with respect for my work. He was different, softer. He didn't ask for forgiveness. He just showed me, day by day, that he was worthy of it. On our last day working together, he laid his heart bare. I live with the ghost of our child every day, he said, his voice thick. I was a fool. The man I was died the day you left. This man loves only you. He turned to leave, and I saw the weight of his regret on his shoulders. And I knew, with a certainty that settled deep in my bones, that my story wasn't about a cheating boyfriend or a shameful mistake. It was about a love that was born from chaos, tested by fire, and ultimately redeemed by time and truth. Alexander, I said. He turned. I looked at the man who had seen me at my most broken and had helped me become whole. Love doesn't make you timid, I said, a real smile touching my lips for the first time in years. It makes you brave. And I stopped being a stranger to you a long time ago.